Hey everybody, this is Caterol Hunter and I am in Kenya, East Africa, looking for African treasure. Hi everybody, this is James and you're watching my channel, Caterol Hunter. I'm on safari with my wife here in Kenya in East Africa. What I'm hoping to do is find some good souvenirs of my trip. Banknotes, some coins, pretty cost-effective souvenirs, but really cool additions to my collection to remember my time here in Africa. Well, we returned safe and sound from Kenya, and I managed to get some coins and some banknotes to bring back. I'm not really much one for souvenirs, so to speak, but bringing back circulating currency, banknotes, and coins is a pretty cost-effective way, really, to find some souvenirs. And of course, if you're a coin collector like me, it adds to your collection. It's a great way to remember your time there. So what I've got here is a collection of coins and some banknotes. These are, for the most part, the currently circulating issues. The currency is in shillings, Kenyan shillings. That is what we've got here. And I've got coins from 1 shilling all the way to 20 shillings. Those are the denominations that are circulating right now. And then banknotes in larger denominations, 50, 100, 200, 500, and 1,000. Now, I mentioned that this is a fairly cost-effective way to get souvenirs, and some of these numbers on here seem pretty large, but to put it in perspective, 100 Kenyan shillings is roughly the equivalent of $1 Canadian. So this is really just a dollar. This is really just 50 cents. And it's even less, of course, if you're in the States. 100 Kenyan shillings is probably the equivalent of about 70 cents. So not really a lot. Even the 1,000 shilling note, which is the largest denomination, is roughly $10 Canadian or about $7 US. So not a lot of money did I have to lay out to bring some souvenirs back. But we'll look at these in a moment. First, I want to talk about the coins. The very first thing that I did was I purchased something with some banknotes, and I was hoping to get change in the form of coins. And I discovered pretty quickly that coins don't readily circulate in Kenya. They're actually fairly hard to come by. I did get coins as change a couple of times, but for the most part, things are rounded to the nearest 50 shillings. So it's kind of strange, the nearest 50 cents. So here's what I've learned is that coins don't circulate very much, and the shilling is the unit. So here is a 1 shilling this one's from 1998, Republic of Kenya, 1 shilling. And the denomination below the shilling is actually the cent. So you can purchase something in shillings and cents, but cents in Kenya, probably due to inflation, haven't been produced since the 90s. It no longer made sense financially or practically to produce them. So 1 shilling is really the smallest denomination. So I've got a few examples of the 1 shilling here, and we'll take a look at these. And there's the one at the top is particularly cool. So let's look at these ones here. We'll start with this 1 shilling at the bottom here. This is from 1998, and this is brass-plated steel. This is the oldest Kenyan coin I was able to get. Now, Kenya gained its independence in December of 1963. Prior to that, it was a colony of the United Kingdom. East Africa had its own currency for some time, and that's what would have circulated here, along with British pounds. The Kenyan shilling became the currency in the mid-60s, but this one here from 1998, 1 shilling, Republic of Kenya, and if I flip it over, it features the president of Kenya at the time, the second president of Kenya. So that is cool, but that's the oldest one I could get. Like I said, this is essentially the equivalent of 1 cent, and they don't really circulate readily. So I actually got Lawrence, the bartender at one of the resorts that I was staying at, or lodges, and to go and see if he could find some coins. He was very helpful, so I really appreciate that. A big shout out to Lawrence. Thank you so much. And he got these for me. The next set, these are all 2010. This is the modern circulating shilling, and this features the first president of Kenya. Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. And most of the coins I have will feature him. This is actually in pretty nice condition. So this is 2010. The shilling wasn't issued in coin form every year. And so the most recent one I have is actually this one from, I believe, 2018. If I flip it over on this one, the date is on the reverse. So there's 2018 Republic of Kenya. If I flip it over, this is really cool because this features a giraffe. Really, really neat. 1 shilling with a giraffe. And the most modern version of each denomination actually features wildlife. And I wasn't able to get them all. They're actually harder to come by and not minted, as far as I can understand, in the same quantities. So that is really cool, a giraffe with 1 shilling. I just got one with a giraffe. The 5 shillings I got here, both of these are from 2010 as well, and they feature the first president of Kenya. Now there is I believe a 2019 or 2018 version of the 5 shilling that features on the reverse a rhinoceros, and it looks incredibly cool. I'll put a picture of it up here so you can see what that would look like. I wasn't able to get my hands on one. I tried, but as I said, most businesses don't carry coins. They don't really circulate, at least not where I was. They depend heavily on the banknotes. And so this is all I could find. So still looking for that rhinoceros 5 shilling coin. And this, of course, is bimetallic with a ring on it here. And I think the outer ring is nickel-plated steel and or a copper nickel ring with aluminum bronze center. That's what these are. The next denomination I got is the 10 shilling, and I think I got all from similar range of years. Again, all featuring the first president of Kenya. This one's 2010 as well. So these are in probably minted in great numbers and are the ones that are commonly circulating. But I was fortunate enough to get a newer one, 10 shillings. I'm going to flip it over. This is 2018 as well. And this one features a lion. I'm going to pull this one up on the big screen here. We get a closer look at what that looks like. It's really cool. So there it is, really zoomed in, 10 shillings from Kenya with a adult male lion with that big mane sort of blowing in the wind, probably on the high ground surveying the scenery. I was fortunate enough to see some lions in person pretty close. Towards the end of this video, I think I'll post a few little clips of some video and some pictures of things that we saw while we were there in case you're interested. It was really a fantastic trip. My wife loves wildlife, and of course I love wildlife too. And it was an amazing, once in a lifetime trip. And it's actually really cool to see some of that wildlife in person that you really only ever see in pictures, or in this case on coins, to see them in person. So that's the 10 shilling with the lion. In the 20 shilling, I actually got 2 different years, 2 different versions. So the older ones, you can see these are very well circulated, very worn. It's hard for me to even focus. There we go, 1998, Republic of Kenya. And this one features the second president. And these other ones are probably all 2010s as well. The updated, the design is pretty much the same, 20 shillings, but it features the first president of Kenya, Kenyatta. So that's really cool. I got a bunch of these. I only really need to keep one. I'll probably keep of each of these one, the nicest one probably for my collection. What I'll do then, I think with the rest, is trade them. Find friends who would like to get coins from another country, international coins, and see if they've got some international coins that I'd like to add to my collection. That's a really great way to expand your collection. And I think people really enjoy that when you come back from a trip, other collectors for sure, when you've got some things like this. Some of these I actually got from Kent, who we were traveling with. Kent and Diana were our safari mates in our safari vehicle, and he was actually the one who got me some of these coins first. He actually got me some coins from other places that he had with him, and they're extensive travelers, and I might share some of those in another video. So thanks also to Kent for getting some of these coins for me as well. The 20, I've got about 4 or 5 of them, so I'll have the opportunity to trade with a few people. I'm going to turn my attention now to the banknotes, which are really very cool. So I have all of the banknotes from the 2019 series, the 50, the 100, the 200, the 500, and the 1000. What you'll note about these banknotes is that the design on the front here is pretty much the same with just a couple of differences. One thing to note is that as the banknotes go up in denomination, the size becomes a little bit bigger. So they are increasing in size up to the 1000, which is the largest of the notes. They're taller and wider. So if I put the 200 up against the 1000, you'll see that it is definitely taller. And if I were to compare them like this, you'll see that the 1000 is wider than the 200. So they get progressively taller and progressively wider, the notes, as they increase in denomination. The differences between the banknotes are really just the denomination. So this is 50 shillings. And then one thing that's really neat on here is that there is one of the big five. The big five in Kenya are the 5 big game animals that might have been popular with hunters when hunting was a more socially acceptable thing in Kenya. But Kenya has built their industry now on tourism and conservation. And so I don't know that there's much in the way of hunting in most of the country, at least not for the animals that are endangered. But the design is pretty much the same, but the colors, of course, are different. And you'll see on the 50, this features the water buffalo. I'm going to try to zoom in as close as I can here to see the water buffalo. The 100 features the leopard. And I saw lots of water buffalo, and I saw one adult leopard and a couple of cubs while we were there. The 200 features the rhinoceros. The 500 features the lion. And the 1000 features the elephant. And I saw certainly lots and lots of elephants in Kenya. It was really amazing. The other side of these notes are all different. I'll flip over this 50. And these are all, you'll note, these are circulated bills. I did try to find completely uncirculated. These are the best versions that I could find. But the reverse of the bill, the back of the bill, features different parts of the economy and industry in Kenya. And one cool thing that's shared across all of them, if I put it up to the light, is there is a lion watermark. You can see that. It's actually really cool. So that's the same on all of them. This bill is featuring solar power, geothermal power, and wind power. So really highlighting the ongoing development of the infrastructure and economy in Kenya. We'll just look at the 100, and I haven't spent a lot of time on here, but you can see there is some farming. Farming is a big source of revenue. That's probably, it might be the largest or second largest industry after tourism. A lot of people are farming in Kenya. The 200, we feature education and sports. The 500, I think, is my favorite as I pick it up, and you'll see why when I flip it over, because it features wildlife. And you can see on here, I'll try to get in as close as I can and keep it focused in, but we've got elephants, we've got giraffes, and the majestic, mighty lion, which is just great. So this one is my favorite. I really love seeing the images of wildlife on here, particularly having just seen so many wild creatures in Kenya. And then I'll look at the last one here is the 1000. And this is featuring the Parliament buildings. You can see it says Parliament there in Kenya. And of course, if I put it up to the light, you can see that lion watermark that is on all of the bills. So there you have it, my Kenyan currency. Very well circulated, not pristine, uncirculated condition, but these are great souvenirs from my trip. These were all bills that I got in change from purchases, and from folks who helped me find the coins that I could bring home for my own collection and to share with some friends as well. So I really hope you enjoyed this look at some currency that you might not normally see in your day-to-day goings about, that I was able to round up in my trip to Kenya. And I think what I'll do is close out with some images and some video of just some of the things that I was fortunate enough to see when we were in Kenya. If you haven't already liked the video, please go ahead and click the video. That's helpful. It shows the video to more people and introduces them to my channel. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, Cadroll Hunter, Please do that now. I'd really appreciate it. Give the channel a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again next time.
Nice looking rocks.
Is that the tallest?
Hello, this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so cute. It's gonna come nice and close. Hyena.